Today, I'm at Stockholm Arlanda Airport as a winter storm rolls in to take a look at what goes into keeping this airport running during extreme winter weather. And let me tell you right off the bat, it's a lot of work. This airport has never once closed due to weather, and the folks here intend to keep it that way. We'll be getting a tour of the facilities and hitching a ride in one of the massive snowplow machines, as well as the vehicle that measures runway friction and determines the runway condition code, a critical piece of data used by pilots in their operational decision making. So let's go clear some snow.
You get the message, it is very dangerous.
You may have seen the video I did here at Arlanda about a year ago when it was actually winter as well, but there wasn't any snow. And luckily today, it's almost a year later. Arlanda is experiencing some fairly nasty weather, snow, and more on the way with high winds potentially. So we've come back to see this. Among other things, the snow removal equipment, and to go around the airport today a little bit and see how this whole operation works. It's not just clearing snow from runways. It's about measuring runway conditions. It's about spraying a particular kind of salt that's healthy for aircraft and that can reduce the freezing element of runways, and much, much more. They have to clear the gate areas, they have to clear the taxiways. It's a big operation, especially when a nasty storm rolls in, which it seems like is happening today. So come along and let's see how this all works. I'm going to be spending the whole day here, and should be pretty interesting to see this side of running an airport during winter ops.
We have snow blowers that we use to throw snow in the trucks to transport it away. This can spray up to 24 meters wide for runways and taxiways. This is mainly used for the snow dump, where the trucks take the snow and then it goes through a cleaning process, can exit the airport. The runway edge light, they have really high, very specific machine for it. Smaller machines for cleaning, mostly used in the summer for FOD cleaning. Just sweeping areas for small rocks, bag tags and everything. First they plow the runways to get rid of most of the snow. And then we use a sweeper, steel sweeper, that sweeps it to get the small particles, and then we have a big blower afterwards.
And these take quite a bit of skill to use. That means lots of training and experience is needed before they can be out on the runways racing around in formation.
If you know what you're doing and you know the machine, you're just supposed to get rid of the ice. If you don't know what you're doing and you push this blade too far down, you will destroy even the runway, the asphalt. This is not a machine that you get to drive first or even second or third or fifth year here. You have to get the experience.
And it's been a tough winter so far this year. Marcus told me that they usually use around 2,500 tons of sand over one winter season, but they already used up roughly that amount in December alone.
This is our control room. From here we coordinate the snow removal fleet. So we have airport cameras so we can see all the stands and all the aprons. So we can see if it's cleared or not. And also we have systems to see temperatures in the runways, taxiways, from the top of the runway down to, I think it's 15 centimeters down.
Next up was a ride in one of the PSB machines, but I had to wait until one was ready to swing by and pick me up. So in the meantime, we took a little drive around the airfield. With so much snow falling and being cleared all the time, and if temperatures stay low, the snow doesn't melt, of course, they have to put all that snow somewhere. You can't just push it to the end of the runway like you might on a city street. And this is where it goes, what they call the snötippen, basically the snow dump. It's on both sides of me. They come in and they just dump the snow, creating these little mountains, which get bigger over time if you have a very snowy winter without a lot of melt. So it's another interesting side. You think about all the different logistics that are required to do everything. You don't necessarily think of where they put the snow. And eventually it goes down here, gets melted, and gets processed, treated and cleaned before being put back into the water system. and they're always staying on top of making sure that it's not carrying any of these chemicals, glycol, some of the salt alternative that they put on the runways. They have to really clean it before they put it back. So there's a whole system here for doing that, which is just down the hill here.
And of course, I couldn't miss catching a few takeoffs and landings in this nasty weather. And my ride is here. This is my first time riding in a PSB. Considering how much training goes into getting the right to drive one of these, I'd say this is quite a unique privilege to be up here. It is just so impressive how these trucks move as a team all over the airfield. They have to be totally coordinated with each other, and they have to know exactly where they can and can't plow to avoid critical runway infrastructure. Not to mention that they have to be coordinated around aircraft movements so that they only plow runways when no aircraft is inbound, while another team is assigned to the taxiways and will have to avoid any aircraft on the move as well. In total, it's 120 people who do these jobs. They're split into teams of 24, and each team works a 12-hour shift. During the entire winter season, there are teams working around the clock. When extra staff are called in during heavy snowfall, there can be up to 35 vehicles out at one time. The airport is due to take delivery of 3 electric FMX trucks from Volvo in March. These will help with transporting snow in flatbeds that can fit 40 cubic meters. And finally, it's time to sit in the back of one of the vehicles that measure runway friction. The driver of this one is also the snow removal supervisor, who's in charge of leading the removal team as well as measuring the runway condition. There's a special 5th wheel that can be dropped down and it will send back a reading for the friction level. There are 2 vehicles doing this to be able to measure different parts of the runway each time through. This, along with other metrics, helps the snow removal supervisor decide on the runway condition code that they're going to report to the tower and to Eurocontrol.
I have to start it. The fifth wheel going down in the back, and it starts. There's the actual friction.
And there you have it, another day in which Arlanda did not close thanks to its top-notch snow removal team. As impressive as all the machinery is, what strikes me most is how organized everyone is, and how competent they need to be at their specific task so that the whole operation can keep up its flow with zero downtime. In Stockholm for Flight Radar 24, I'm Gabriel Lee.